Hi there, everyone. Just on the road, and I am going to what I would consider probably one of the top real estate investment markets for the next 10 years. And the good thing is, it's also the site of our newest release that's going to be presented to everybody on April the 29th. That's this Thursday, 7 p.m., during our Simple Real Estate Investment webinar. So if you've got friends or family members that you think that should be real estate investors, or if you want to know more about our next release, make sure you register at thesimpleinvestor.com. And you don't want to miss this one. I'm really excited about it. It is our seminar broken down. I'm going to keep you up to date on what's going on with the world of real estate and where the market is going in this crazy, crazy world. So make sure you register at thesimpleinvestor.com. But, I do get quite a few questions, and so the head of our technical department wanted to sit down and ask me a few questions. So here's kind of the uncut clips. So take a look.
All right. So Todd, thanks for sitting down with me. How are things going with this Simple Investor?
Well, I got to tell you, we've been very fortunate. And during the pandemic, a lot of people have had a lot of struggles, a lot of health issues. And at the Simple Investor, I think maybe our model was really built for something like this, where, we picked the right tenant years ago. And I know that a lot of our investors know this, but, our model's always been based on affordability. And so most of our stuff's in the outer markets, which, those people, there have been people that have lost their jobs, some of the tenants, but fortunately, CERB was there for people. And because of our price point and our rents, we really did not feel any loss of rents. And so our investor base, we're very fortunate because not one person missed one rent during this entire time. But, we do have to, address obviously the biggest thing in the room is the pandemic and COVID. And, for us, the most important thing is everybody's health. And as the management company for all of these developments, we had to focus to make sure that our tenants were safe. And so, I can't say enough about our staff that have been able to come together to make sure that the buildings were well taken care of, cleaned. We watched out for everybody. Repairs were done very efficiently by, our management team. So, I would say as if we don't talk about numbers all the time, but we talk from the human element, the Simple Investor company did exceptionally well during the last year, and we're very proud of everybody that's been part of it.
Yeah, that's amazing. What made you decide to become a Simple Investor?
That's a funny question. I get asked that all the time, and I've been in real estate now 30 years, and when I think about it, it's like what attracted me to real estate. I think the brick and mortar was the biggest part right out of the gate. When I was younger, I got involved in construction, and I always saw things that I always figured if you had the brick, you had the mortar, you had the roof, then you had everything you needed, and everything else after that you could create. So when I started going through real estate, I was very fortunate. I had a great real estate career. I had thousands of clients. I was very fortunate. But one of the things I always recognized was the fact that the people that were, I think, probably the most secure were the ones that were holding real estate. And in the real estate business, this is where I think the mistake can be made. Is everybody thinks that you have to sell real estate for profit, and
right.
Nowadays the more educated we get about that, that's capital gains. But the idea that you can refinance your investment property to buy another property, that excited me so much. So when I decided to open up the Simple Investor, I walked away from a real estate career, and I think everybody thought I lost my mind. And I got to start playing the greatest game of Monopoly the world has ever known. And I get to play and do renovations and, work with my staff. It's a pretty amazing feeling to do it all. And the biggest thing I wanted to create for our investor base was consistency. And unfortunately, I will always tell people, I think that everybody should own investment real estate, but I don't think everybody should be a manager. There's so many rules and regulations and hoops you have to jump through. It makes it almost impossible. So if if you've got a job, you've got a family, you've got time you got to worry about, yeah, you can do repairs and you can fix things yourselves, but, the tenant doesn't care when something breaks down, they need it fixed. And if you don't get paid rent, what do you do? And this is what always concerned me, was the fact that, everybody should have the ability to be able to create a little bit of wealth for their family. We call it generational wealth at The Simple Investor. And we've been very fortunate. For the last 12 years, we've been able to watch our model grow, and now we've been able to, basically have a really positive effect on, thousands of people. And, it really makes me happy that we're watching people have security. Again, we don't make people rich.
Yeah.
Okay, my program does not make people rich. That's not our intent. It's not to go get a flashy car. It's not to go and change your lifestyle. It's about security. And I think if we learned anything in the last 18 months of this world, security is more important than it has ever been before. And having a roof over your head, I think, has really been the biggest thing. So, as a landlord, as an investor, you now have the ability of helping a tenant keep a roof over their head. And, that's kind of been the whole package together when I created The Simple Investor. It was really about, people having the ability to own something but create generational wealth.
Right. Yeah. I heard you have a webinar coming up. How does the webinar fit into that model? Why decide to do a webinar?
Well, for years and years, we've been doing seminars. And as most people know that have attended our seminars over the years, we really don't talk about us much. It's more about a mindset. It's about understanding what investment real estate really is, actually. And so, it's funny. My seminar would normally run about an hour and a half, and in the last maybe 5 minutes we talk about our product, and people would say, you didn't talk about your company enough. And we're not here to sell anybody like an education, a special education, or anything else. We're here to help people gain knowledge, and that's one of the reasons why I've done my real estate show for so many years, because it's not about us. It's about hopefully helping people understand what the headlines mean. So the webinar, we've decided that because we can't do a seminar in person, and the way the real estate world's changing, it is changing really quickly right now, and there's so many issues with it. I thought that it's probably better for us to open up and do a webinar, right, and be able to allow people from the comfort of their own home be able to watch the webinar. Mm-hmm. And we're also we're gonna put a new release in the webinar. I know most people are always excited when we do a new release. Yeah. But ultimately, it's really to help people understand and navigate what's going on today.
Yeah, and I can't wait to actually see it. Thanks a lot for doing this with me, Todd.
Yeah, great. No problem. Listen, it's been a real pleasure. The one thing, just so all our viewers know, it's coming up April the 29th. It's Thursday, 7 p.m. And all you have to do is go to simpleinvestor.com. And if anybody has any questions, I am going to be throwing out during the webinar that people will be able to hook up with me for a Zoom meeting. I'm going to offer my time one-on-one, as I've always done with my seminars. Every time I've had a seminar, I've always offered my time afterwards so people could meet with me. And I think it's really important that we have a one-on-one talk on the value of investment real estate.
Yeah, it's going to be amazing. I can't wait for the webinar.
All right, thanks so much.
Thank you.